I always find it interesting when drawing the day card, the same card comes up within a day or two of the last time. You'll notice the day card a couple days ago was the Five of Swords, and today we've also drawn the Five of Swords. And so I decided that because it obviously wants a little more attention, maybe I should look at it from a different angle than I had before. Although the same card, we can look at it from several vantage points. While last time we saw the combining of different elements within the suit of swords in the the addition of the ace and the four, seeing how that brings us to the five. Today I decided to look at the two Major Arcana cards that correspond with the Five of Swords. The fifth Arcana, the Hierophant, and the 15th, the Prince of Darkness in the Black Flame Tarot, or the Devil, more commonly. Both figures hold some things in common. I find that interesting. Now, before we get into them, let's remember what the Five of Swords means. And I'll post a link for the previous video in the description, so you can go back and look at that. That may help to contextualize things here a bit. But the Five of Swords, in general, relates to a moving beyond, a moving outside of a comfort zone, which can also, and often does, refer to a stagnant zone. Maybe not an area where we've just suspended our thinking, the swords having to do mostly with the intellect, but an area where our thinking maybe has become redundant, it's become a little square, it hasn't advanced beyond. And so the quantity of thinking may not have decreased, but the quality may not have increased either. And so the five gets us out of that in the fours. The five cuts through some of the cloud cover, as you can see there, and gives us a more clear view of ourselves, as illustrated by the pentagram. And the green indicates growth. But the Major Arcana cards can give us some clues as well. To begin with, we see a lot of purple in the five, don't we? And purple, as you may know, indicates wisdom. It indicates applied knowledge. Perhaps we've been in a position before that has required us to cut through some things in order to get a clearer vision of ourself. You'll notice in this card some animals. We have a hippopotamus, we have a crocodile, we have a snake, looks like a cobra, not one we want to run into. And then we have the Set animal, an unknown being from Egyptian lore. These all, with the inclusion of that unknown animal, refer to some discomfort and potentially some outright danger. I don't want to get in the jaws of a hungry hippo, I can tell you that. I also don't want to get trapped by the jaws of a hungry crocodile or alligator. And if you got one charging at you, I don't think you really care the difference. I don't want to get between a cobra and what he wants. And sometimes the unknown can unsettle us more than anything. Moving out into the Five of Swords, changing our thinking, can feel very uncomfortable, very unsettling, even dangerous. The Prince of Darkness also features one of these same creatures, the Set animal, or at least the head of the Set animal. They both feature trapezoids, as you can see here, and as you can see here. But perhaps most importantly, they both feature a burst of light, a burst of awareness of self. Have you ever gotten into a mental or intellectual rut and not even realized it? And at some point, you have this burst, this aha moment, this, what have I been doing for the last week or month or year or years? What have I been doing? What have I been spending my time on? Have I done anything productive? Not the most comfortable realization, but a good one, because no matter how much time you've found yourself in that 4 zone of the swords, better to leave it to move on to strange and unknown and exciting things now than to wait another year. The Prince of Darkness, in particular as a card, really helps to illustrate this point. Look at the 2 people up top there. You can probably see that they don't get to move around much. They have some chains attached. We often chain ourselves, don't we? We chain ourselves out of fear, out of a need for security. But only after we unsecure ourselves a little bit can we imitate this fellow who, having had a burst of awareness, has begun to ascend. He's begun to ascend above his previous state of being, committed to becoming more self-aware, committed to self-discovery, committed to becoming something and someone greater. And in order to do that, we have to get out of our comfort zone. We have to get out of our box. We have to unchain ourselves, release ourselves from our self-imposed prisons. Most of the time we've put ourselves there, and we bear responsibility for getting ourselves out. And we have the key, well within reach. We just have to do it. So, whatever aspect of your thinking this applies to, I encourage you, become aware of it. It may not feel nice, but don't block these thoughts. Instead, open yourself to them. Take some time to open yourself to them, to explore them, to play with them, to speculate and plan and do. as usual, please subscribe. You'll get notifications of updates whenever they occur throughout the week. Make sure to follow the Instagram and Facebook links that you'll also find in the description below. Take a look at yesterday, or the video from a couple days ago. Again, it'll help to contextualize this. Just because the Five of Swords wanted to say more today doesn't mean we shouldn't heed what it said a couple days ago. And finally, leave some comments, leave some thoughts. I always like conversation, and if you think I've missed something important, or if this really applies to something in particular, I'd love to hear about both. Until next time, folks, stay safe, stay well, keep transforming. Have a beautiful day.